B-Bad and Brandon.
I'm ready.
Sweet.
And we are good to go. Welcome back to the first episode of the Platform Podcast for 2021. Jeez.
You know, I got a thing on Facebook yesterday that said we put a post up yesterday, like half announcing we were doing this 12 months ago. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it on my Instagram. Holy shit. It's been 12 months.
Yeah. I wonder when we did the first one.
It'd be around the same time, I think.
Sick. It must have, maybe that was a Friday or something, and then this was the day we were doing it. Sick.
Must have been. And a massive welcome to our first guest of 2021, Mr. Josh Tait. Welcome.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you've listened to the podcast and our podcast as we are the biggest, all of them, biggest podcast in Australia, biggest powerlifting podcast. We can claim that.
Biggest podcast in the world this year, yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But you know how it works. We have 21 words. Who you are, what you do. We will do.
He has 21 words.
Yeah, he has 21 words. I will do my best to count these words, but it's a bit hard via Zoom with the delay.
1, 3, 4.
Hang on. When does it start? Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to quickly jump onto Instagram and see what I've got typed up in my fucking
bio. What a hack.
Oh, no one's done that before.
Yes. There we go. Strength coach, co-owner of a gym. Yeah, that's about it. Used to have, it used to be strong.
We can add some adjectives in there to make it sound a little bit better.
Ken bench.
Yeah, fuck. So people would know you mostly as one of the biggest benches in Australia.
Yep.
Where did powerlifting begin for you? Because I remember way back when I first met you when you were still bodybuilding.
Yeah, so that would have been
2013.
Yeah, it would have been 2013.
Yeah.
So I did some bodybuilding back in 2009, 2010 in the IMBA, and then I just got a bit bored of I just didn't like getting weak, you know what I mean? So then 2013, I was like, I'm going to do NABBA. And then at the same time, I was just like, I never really tried benching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, it was just like, I didn't really care about it. And then all of a sudden I was just like, I'm just going to see what I can do one day in the gym at Bio. And I benched like 180 or something
On the see what you could do day.
Yeah, on the see what I could do day. And I was like, oh, fuck, this all right, eh?
Brando, do you remember when you could see what you could do day and did 180?
I'm still waiting to get 180 in general. So no, the short answer to that is no.
Yeah, and then I was just like, I was talking to Maddie and I was like, what's the go with powerlifting? Like, where are the comps at? Because I know Damon he had something to do with Capo way back.
Yeah.
And then I jumped on, remember the days of the forums? Like the Aussie Gym Junkies and fucking Get Big and stuff like that, where everyone's like talking about like drug cycles and all sorts of shit on there.
Yeah.
I came across the GPC one and I was like, I think it was, the States was in April or something like that.
Yep.
I was like, what's the bench record? It was like 220, 2.5 back then with Steve Tait. I was like, I'm going to have a fucking crack at this.
So was that bench only or was that 3 lift?
My first one was bench only back in 2013 States.
Jesus. That would have been back when Valhalla was PTC back on Melton Road, yeah.
And Nathan Wallace was still competing in powerlifting, bodybuilding and stuff as well. Because he did the 3 lift comp for States. And I was like, oh man, I'll come down and I'll just, I'll have a crack and do the bench and see what happens.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I took like Steve's record, I can't remember what I opened on. I think it was like a 2 or 205. And then I think I went like 2 something, and then I took it on the 3rd.
Yeah, fuck.
Bit of like 2.5.
It's that escalated. It's gone from I'll see what I can do to now I've beaten the Australian record in months.
Bloody hell.
turns out powerlifting, that might be a nice sport to play in, eh? You might be good.
I think powerlifting is a fun sport in itself, but I think bench was where like my heart lied for a little bit.
Yeah.
Or laid, whatever.
Did you have a crack in a 3 lift after that, or was it still just majority? Oh, I'm going to think about bench here.
When did I do a 3? I think one of the first 3 lifts was busting up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sweet.
I think I squatted like 250 in my first 3 lift comp.
What'd you bench?
Probably about 250.
About 250?
Nah. I think that was coming towards the tail end of that bodybuilding prep. So
Yep.
bench started to drop off as my body weight started to come down a little bit. And I think it was still like 220-ish.
Yeah, right.
Around that 210 mark.
Right. Yeah, so like 40 kilos behind your squat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn. Did you try and do both? Like jump on stage and still try and powerlift at the same time?
Man, like I did the Spring Cup like 3 or 4 weeks out before NABA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I squatted, I think it was like a 275 squat, maybe about a 205 bench, and then like 285 dead or something like that.
Yep.
Papa cooked me that day. Like, I ended up tearing like the semimembranosus tendon a little bit in my leg. So like 4 weeks out from bodybuilding comp, all of a sudden there's this mad bruise running down the side of my leg. Fucking pipe. I'm like, pick one or the other. I think that was like Pro Raw.
Would have been Pro Raw 6 or 5. Yeah.
Pro Raw 5. Marco sent me a message being like, "Oh, do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Nah, man, like, fuck no." Got a bodybuilding comp to finish, you know what I mean?
Now, coming from your background in like, you've competed at both high levels in bodybuilding and powerlifting.
Yeah.
What attracts you to both, and what was the hardest thing to make the transition of?
Ooh. So bodybuilding, I think I was just looking for something like a little bit like sort of a little bit competitive. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was more like I just want to have a crack. You know what I mean? See what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been a fully lean dude. You know those dudes that can just stick around like 5% body fat and just do what the fuck they want to do. I was never. I mean, like, I'd never eaten or never like was that sort of person. Man, I had a go at it and I won. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then I was like, I'll do it again. And I won the intermediate INBA in 2010. I was like, fuck this, all right. And then I'm a massive party head as well. You know what I mean? So I'm sort of like, if I'm not like focused on doing something, it's like, have you ever heard that saying, idle hands is the devil's playground?
Yeah.
That's me for me, man. So it's sort of like, well, I have to do something, otherwise I'm fucking mischievous.
How did you stumble into bodybuilding, bro? Have you always been training as a kid, or and it just pulled you towards it, or?
I'd always try. Well, pretty much it was like dad. You know what I mean? Like every has like. Most of them have like muscle and fitness magazines, bodybuilding magazines and stuff like that. And dad was into his gym, so that's sort of what got me into, weight training. And then I guess tearing my ACL tearing 2 seasons in a row playing rugby had me in the gym a lot more. And it was just like when I was like, right, I'm going to do bodybuilding. I think I'd come from like a couple of years of like mad partying, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you were kind of searching for something to bring your focus back in and ground you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and basically that's essentially what I thought bodybuilding was, be clean and be healthy and,
It's really opposite end of the spectrum there. You go from party boy just to absolute, as you said, clean, keep it focused, discipline, like 24/7. So it's a big shift. And you were working at Biologic Labs at the time, if I'm not.
Yeah, from like 2010-ish or 11 till 2014.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's an old school gym, that one, bro. What was it like working there back in those days?
Man, it was it was good. Like we had a good team, like a good team around us as well. Like everyone wanted to fucking be better. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I was talking to Maddie on the phone actually the other day, and I was just like, man, like even finding coaches or trainers with that dynamic, where the fuck are they? You know what I mean? Like literally all we wanted to do was like train hard, make money, train people. You know, it was just like fuck. It was good. We had Timmy McKinnon. Timmy McKinnon was there. Nathan Wallace, Alex Busey way back in the day. Adam, Amy, Damon, Maddie. You know what I mean? Like
fuck, and like a lot of the
even Dom. You know what I mean? Like
a lot of people, like a lot of coaches these days. I remember, I don't know about you, Johnny, but I remember becoming a PT and like hearing about biologic labs and just those monsters of Timmy McKinnon, Nathan Wallace, Busey, Dom Selwood as I was coming up. Like, and even Damon Hayhow was still there back in the day. And like I think a lot of people forget how strong and ridiculous he was. Like he was a monster. Yeah. And he even competed, as I'm pretty sure, in Capo, as Josh, you said before, and holds a few records, I think, still.
Yeah, I think he's still got like one of the deadlift records or something like that. But man, we just used to push the envelope when we were there. You know what I mean? Like there was less. You know how a lot of coaches getting caught up in like the little details now. You know, like everything has to be fucking perfect before you go into your training session.
Yeah.
And I just think it's breeding a bunch of soft cocks, like to be like straight with everyone. You know what I mean? It's just like, where's your fucking effort with your training? You know what I mean? Like, we were just like, fucking try and like kill ourselves every single training session.
Would it get competitive in there, bro? You guys training together?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would in that environment. Wow.
It would have been everyone trying to outdo each other every session, no doubt.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Is that the biggest change you've seen? Like, obviously, Biologic Labs now is a lot different to what it was, and I mean, I guess it's also the climate of the industry. There's a bloody strength gym nearly on every corner in Brisbane now.
Yeah.
But how do you see it from the outside? Like, obviously, I remember back in the day, Biologic Labs being the place to go if you wanted to get absolutely shredded.
I think it's just like it's been a shift in people as well. You know what I mean? Sort of in terms of how much they're willing to put into it as well.
Yep.
If that makes sense. It's
sort of 100%.
I think people, to some degree, have become a little bit softer or a little bit like paralyzed by information. You know what I mean? So it's sort of just chopping and changing instead of just going, this is what I'm going to do, and just fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Too much information out there. Everyone just gets lost in it and starts trying to find the latest and newest thing and forgets that maybe just some squat, bench, and deadlift might go a long way.
I just don't think some people want to train as hard as people used to train. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't want to do it. You know, it's
100%.
Like minimum effective volume and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, but that's like the slowest fucking rate of progression you get. That's why it's minimum. You know what I mean?
Minimum result.
You get tiniest amount of fucking gains out of it. So.
Yeah, right. So it's because it's a weird, like you guys have all both said it, like there's so much information out there. And Tait, you're good friends with a friend of the show, Jordan Shallow, and like he's putting out quality information. But there is a degree now where people are getting lost in that to the point where their prehab, pre-engagement mobility sessions are now longer than their actual sessions.
Their sessions.
Yeah, that's their sessions now.
The intensity of their sessions, shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like everyone's too scared of getting fucking hurt and stuff like that. And I get that, but at the same time, it's sort of like.
But that's how we kind of need to test the envelope and fly close to that sun.
Yeah.
We got to be able to push it. And like, what's the point of doing all this pre-engagement stuff if we're not then testing it to see if it actually works?
Yeah, exactly.
So there is that limit. And I think When did the idea of Eastside Barbell start for you? I mean, that was the gym originally?
Yeah, that was the name of the gym originally. And I think, the shift, like in terms of like a business point of view and like the shift to involve was more like, I guess, a shift in my own thought process and how I was feeling at the time in terms of like where I wanted to go with training and nutrition and stuff like that.
Yep.
To more head back towards that like body recomposition sort of stuff. But ultimately, I don't really like. I just don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So we are actually turning it back to Eastside.
Yeah, right.
But I'd always like wanted to have my own gym, sort of thing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So being based on the east side of Brisbane, I was sort of just like, well, those two words made sense.
Yeah. And you guys, like, obviously, with your background in powerlifting, made quite a name for yourself in Brisbane quite quickly. Like, you've got some strong motherfuckers under you.
Yeah. Looked after some strong guys in the state as well, so.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I'd rather get people who are just starting out.
Mm.
Who probably just need, like, I guess, to be pointed in the right direction. Cut through some of the shit and the stuff that doesn't like matter with your training sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, get those guys and don't sweat the small stuff sort of stuff.
It's easy to, kind of, I guess, instill your coaching disciplines into a new client instead of breaking bad habits that you've seen in other coaches as well when they come from.
Yeah, I keep an open mind, you know what I mean? Like way back in the day. So back at Bio, for example, I just used to fucking hose everyone. Like, I remember, do you guys remember like Papa Savswell and stuff like that? When like, I don't know if you guys ever saw it back on Facebook, but remember when that Ziz culture was huge?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I shredded guys. Like, if I saw shit squats on Facebook, like I went at people. You know what I mean?
Yes, you did.
I think I even commented on one of Jason Semler's bench videos way back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When he was still called Thug Life fucking Jay. No one was safe.
It's so different though. Like when you get a keyboard warrior and there's just some skinny dude behind a fucking on a laptop just typing. Then if they ever saw you in real life, they're like, "I'm good. I'm not going to say anything."
We're going to have to leave that there. Was there any good online battles that you had with anyone that you remember? Where people would bite and come back?
Fucking Adam Dowling.
Yeah. Yeah.
We used to tee off on each other all the time.
Fuck.
All the time.
He is, yep. That's probably we'll park that conversation.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of good sport for you, Josh.
Yeah. That was always a good time.
Fucking hell.
So what do you enjoy more, bro? Because you've competed at a high level and you're coaching a long time, your own gym. Is it coaching these days for you, or lifting, or what's your favorite stuff these days?
I reckon the coaching side of things is more fun than getting out and building programs and getting people to do that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I've tried to pull back on like one-on-one sort of stuff so I can get more of the guys like traveling in the right direction.
Yep.
I had like during COVID, I don't know, a lot of my guys kept training. I was like, fuck that, I'm having a break. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've done over 20 powerlifting competitions, like whether that's 3 lift or single lifts. And I was just like, I had a rough like start to the year, fractured SIJ,
Fuck.
stopped HRT, was just like, I'm having a fucking break.
Yeah, right.
I haven't stopped training, so I've only been training like 3 times a week, sometimes probably for the last, probably since like November-ish.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I just wanted a break, you know what I mean? Like,
20 competitions in powerlifting, whether it be 3 lift or even single lift, that takes its toll no matter what anyone says. You can run the best drugs in the world, eat the best, sleep the best. Like, that takes its toll no matter what.
Yeah, man. Like, I think because I was talking to my GP at the, it would have been, when did I cook it? So it would have been January, December 2019, January 2020. Yep. I was like, mad nerve pain down the legs. Like, I was like, fuck, like, I need to get this checked out. GP got it scanned up, fractured SIJ, stress fractures, all that sort of stuff. And I was just like, you probably just need to have a little break from this. You know? From that intensity sort of stuff, because it's like 2 ACL reconstructions playing football, like 2 meniscus repairs, removals, training, bicep reattachment, fractured SIJs, bulging discs. And like, it's probably time just to, just pull back a little bit. I'm like, the depth of the weight class isn't that crash hot anyway, so I can probably chill for a little bit until someone starts nudging around that 900 total again. So,
yeah, right.
How did you fracture the SIJ? Was it wear and tear, or was there a moment where it fucking went crack?
Well, there's two things that sort of stick out in my mind where I was like, I probably did it here. One was because I was still pulling sumo towards the end of 2019, and I was warming up and I felt like a pop.
Oh.
I turned to Brett and I said, man, I don't know if that was a good pop or a bad pop. I was like, I'll do another set and see what
it's like. Yes, you did. Oh, fuck.
I pulled the first rep and I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And then I pulled the second and I was like, yeah, that's a bad pop.
Fuck. How much weight was on the bar? Do you remember?
Man, it was only warm-ups. It was like 180 kilo warm-up.
Oh, fuck. You never have a cool story when you hurt yourself like that.
Nah.
Boring weights.
And then the only other time I can think was when I went down a kids' water slide with my daughter, and being in the kids section of the pool. And we both I've hit the bottom of the pool, and I was like, oh fuck, that really hurt my tailbone, you know what I mean? And then I think around January, leading into Pro Raw before everything got shut down in March, I was supposed to score 275 for sets of 6. And even 100 kilos, when I was unracking, I was like, it's a bit of little nerve pain and stuff like that into the glute. It wasn't down into my calf, so I was like, all right, it's not sciatic. I'm like, so there's something else going on. And then I think I only did I did 1 rep at 275. I was like, no, I'm calling it. This is there's something weird going on here.
Yeah, right. Fuck, I haven't. Yeah, fractured SIJ. I haven't come across that before.
Yeah.
Jeez. Did it well?
Little stress fractures and there was stress fractures and shit in there. So it was
yeah, it's a pretty good call. It's hey, let's take the foot off the gas and put on the brake for a little bit.
It's literally the only time I've listened to Clem, my GP. He's like, if you ever listen to me now. He's like, you need at least 8 weeks rest.
Yeah, wow.
Fuck.
He's like, and I mean it.
Fuck.
He's
okay.
People do upper body stuff, but nothing.
Use a band, maximum. Would you say, was that because you had a pretty nice list of injuries there, was that your worst one to overcome out of that list, or the ACLs and the biceps worse than that?
Man, I reckon probably the ACL, the first ACL reconstruction was the worst one for me mentally, because I had a football, a juniors Colts contract then, so I was getting paid $40 a week to play football.
Oh, you beauty.
Way back then,
Yeah.
And because I sort of floated through the last year of high school being like, whatever, I'm going to play football, And then I was like, fuck, I'm actually going to have to do something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck, that's a big reality check, isn't it?
Yeah, back when I was 17, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, fuck. And were you playing league union just for my own?
I was playing league, but then I was playing union on the side.
On the side?
Yeah, so I was contracted with East for league, and then was playing with Brothers Rugby Union.
How did you get away with that?
Yeah, so when the league boys found out that happened, then there was no contract left.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell.
Whatever.
Yeah. So what pushed you towards the PT route, or I guess?
Man, it was like, I think I did my certs like in 2005, 2006.
Wow.
Do you guys remember the AIF back then when they had their like?
Hey, I went there.
Yeah.
When did you go?
When it was like in Spring Hill, like 2005, 2006.
Fuck, I went. Oh, we must have just missed each other, bro. I went maybe 2007, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who was there when you were there? Was it Rowie and?
Yeah, Rowie was there. That Trav dude.
Oh, good old Trav. Wasn't he a fantastic human?
He's still kicking around. I think he's doing something with Fitstop, or he was in and out of Fitstop. Had some sort of thing going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then didn't really do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is all right. And then decided I was going to study property economics and went into property and went for a project manager for a while and for the government and acquisitions and disposals, like of government assets. So like property regime for like road networks and shit like that. And then when it was pretty much when I started training at Bio, it was when I was like, this is actually, this is fun, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then I think it was when Wally left to go to the Gold Coast, Matty was like, oh, can you start training some people for us on the side? And I was like, yeah, sweet, easy. That'll be fun.
Fuck yeah.
And then it just got super busy, like in the mornings before my project management job, and was like, what I'm going to do now.
Yeah. Fuck. It's a pretty easy transition once you get really good at something and you're like, fuck, this is actually a lot more fun than what I'm doing elsewhere.
Way better than sitting at the office, mate, in the desk.
Yeah. Like being in lawyers' offices at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I was like, nah. Instead, I was training people until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Wow. Now, I
used to try and ruin them.
I just want to backtrack a little bit to your injury list before. That bicep there, that was Pro Raw 10, wasn't it? 2018. Yeah. Fuck. Because you were pretty much on track to win that comp.
Yeah, it was starting to line up, you know what I mean? Like Ryan bombed on the bench.
That's right. Yeah.
But I was having a shocking day because like we'd just opened Eastside. So it was like my training, like I wasn't doing all my accessories lifts. I wasn't really training properly. Like I was trying to out-drug shit training, you know what I mean? Like just like smashing everything I could, you know what I mean? So something was brewing, you know what I mean? Like, and then my opening bench was like absolute junk, like handling a heap of people the 2 days beforehand as well. Like I lost 3 kilos, weighing on that 116 something.
Holy fuck, that's a big 116 though. I remember watching you like, he's got to be at least 122 to 125. 116.
Yeah, it was like 116.
Yeah, fuck. All right, sorry, but yeah.
No, you're right. And then I don't even remember what I squatted on that day, but it was fucking trash. And then I opened on 240. Was like, fuck, I need to go 250 so I can make some ground up.
Yeah. Got
stuck under 250 twice. So I was like full mad, like just absolutely like annoyed. And then like all of a sudden, like we went out back and we're like, all right, well Ryan's bombed on bench. I think Jeremy, I don't know if Jeremy was in that comp or if he'd done himself a mischief after his massive squat or something again. And then we were warming up for deads and I was like, fuck, like deadlifts are actually moving quickly and they felt good. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was the second deadlift attempt at 325 or something.
Oh.
What was the initial thought in your head? Like, did you feel it go?
Yeah, I felt it start to go up my knee. So it's like Velcro. You know what I mean? Like on your board shorts, you know, your cute board shorts you wear everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just like if you like pull your fly and it's like Velcro, that's what it started to feel like. Like
oh fuck! Oh fuck!
At my knee, and I was just like, I'm pretty sure I'm tearing my bicep, but fuck it, whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Locked it out, and then I thought it was a good lift and put it down and fucking red lighted it. Lighted it for letting go of the bar or something. I'm like,
Well, you only got one bicep left. Should get white.
I was lucky. It wasn't like a full rupture. It was like 80% rupture.
Ooh.
So it didn't shoot all the way up into the shoulder. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like, it was still attached, but like the forearm was just like on fire. Like, fuck, that hurts. Well, that was a good one.
Did you have to have surgery for that, or was it?
Yeah. So it's like an anchor sort of thing. So they cut you down through there, cut the top of the bicep, cut it off, thread it back down. Then they cut through here, drill through the bone, and then put a little button. So they attach your bicep tendon to a button. So it's like
Yeah, right.
anchored.
Holy fuck.
Anchored. It's now anchored to your bone. Jesus.
Yeah,
Is
right.
it all works normal now?
Yeah, it's sweet now. Like, I've mucked around a couple of times, like pulling mixed grip.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to stay with hook.
Yes. Welcome to Hook Grip, mate. It's nice to be part of this.
I think I pulled like 320, a pro raw. What was the last one?
11.
11, yeah, 320 pro raw on hook. So,
Fuck.
so and pull like a conventional 300 and training and shit like that. So
That's not bad.
it doesn't seem to be an issue.
Did you find it difficult going from switch grip to hook grip?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I felt like my thumbs were bleeding the whole time, like bruised. Like the first few sessions when it starts getting heavy, it's like my thumbs were bruised. Like
Yeah, the nail beds get bruised.
yeah. I've only had one tear, and I think it was a big one. It was like up in there somewhere. I was like, oh, that fucking hurts, eh?
Big flap of skin floating around. Brando, you should do hook grip, bro. You'll love it.
Nah, I'm good. I'm sweet.
Do you find? I'm always curious because you've had that bicep tear, Josh. When you coach a client, would you encourage them to hook grip now, or are you still just trying to let them make their own decision up around what they want to do? Or
let them make their own decision. If they want to try hook grip, I'm like, sweet, do hook grip.
Yep.
I'll get them to go like all their warm up sets, hook grip, one top set, hook grip, and then put straps on. Like, if they're not a competitor.
Yep.
Not competing in any comps, or they're not a powerlifter at all. It's just like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Put straps on.
It doesn't really matter as much, does it? You fucking lift the thing.
If I do see someone with flexed elbows and shit like that, I'm sort of a bit like,
Ooh.
oh, you can do that. Like, I get like little flashbacks and shit.
Ooh.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. Don't do that.
Damn.
Someone was trying to hang shit on me the other day. They're like, oh, tore your bicep because your arm was bent. Your arm was bent. I was like, nah, I tore my bicep because I literally tried to rip the fuck out of it. I was on a lot of drugs that probably weren't doing too good for my tendons, you know what I mean? Like, because I was even using like prednisone and shit like that to stop like any anti-inflammatory and shit like that, you know what I mean, to help settle down my back. So, but the good thing was when the surgeon was putting it back in, he's like, you don't have fatty tendons, you know what I mean? So years of steroid use and abuse by a lot of people, their tendons seem like a little fatty and gross, he said. And it's like, well, yeah. Like,
Fuck, that's a really good outcome, obviously. You know,
your tendons are sweet. And I was a little bit surprised by that. But he seems to think like the prednisone misuse throughout the prep would have led to it. Not,
Maybe it wasn't misuse. Yeah. In hindsight.
People like, oh, you know, like use it for 3 days max, and I'm like, 5 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, need it. More is more.
Yes, that is right, Brando. Now, what was your biggest bench, bro? that one point you were the all-time Australian biggest bench. That's correct, Tate?
About 5 minutes, Bill Vassar laid down and bench 260.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, it was 257 and a half.
Wow. What was that day like when you hit that and took that record for yourself?
Was that Pro Raw 9?
I think so, yeah, 2017.
Yeah, that's right. Pro Raw 9. Because then, Vassar came out straight after and then fucking, what an asshole.
Yeah, because he was trying to be like, "Oh, bro, what'd you just bench?" And I was like, "I'm not telling you. Fuck you, Vass. You're gonna beat it anyway."
Oh, fuck.
He is such a character, though.
Yeah, he's good. He's good though. We talk about him a fair bit. So.
He's fucking hilarious. I remember that whole comp, him and Polly were going head to head. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that moment, was it something you had aimed to fucking work towards, or was it just kind of like, oh, it's there for the taking?
No, well, so leading up to that would have been the 2016 push pulls. I think I benched 252 and a half on my last, on my fourth. So it was 245, 235, 220 or something like that. But that 6 month period leading up to that December, I'd spent a lot of time just benching because I think I had meniscus surgery just before around February or March of 2016. So I just spent a lot more time benching and doing upper body work. Was like, oh fuck, it's flying. Like I might be within shot of like getting that single lift bench record back. And then I pretty much just repeated exactly what I did for that push pull prep for the Pro Raw prep to see like, all right, if I come in and I bench, more than 250, I'm within striking distance of a 900 total. Because that's all I was like, that's what I was focused on doing. It wasn't necessarily so much like benching like more. I was going in going, okay, well, if my squat goes up, it's going to pull back on my bench. But if I can get some out of my squat, some out of my bench, and then whatever, YOLO the deadlift, whatever happens, if I should have a good crack at getting a 900 total.
Yeah, right.
Because I didn't even know, like, coming into my third deadlift, that I'd already totaled 900 on the second deadlift.
Yeah. You'd already done it.
Yeah, like, I think it was like 902 or something like that. I didn't even know.
So I'm pretty sure that total was 912 and a half.
Yeah.
That record's still on that board in Valhalla. It's the only reason I know.
That's pretty cool. His name would be there for a few things, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's definitely still up there. That bench record, I don't see it budging too soon. I think the only one really obviously had a shot of taking it would be Polly.
Yeah. I don't even see it. Realistically, I don't even see myself getting close to that probably for the next 12 months anyway.
Do you have ambition to compete again in the next, well, obviously given the climate, but do you have ambitions to get back on the platform?
Probably for a single lift comp to start off with.
Yeah.
Being to a lot of comps, like even like not only just like competing at comps, but watching comps as well. And I'm like, fuck man, they just go forever. I'm starting to get like bored of being there. You know what I mean? Like just how long they go for.
Yeah.
Mate, I got a bench comp in about 3 weeks if you can, mate.
Man, if I do a comp, I want it to be like, wow, like,
fuck yeah,
ready. You know what I mean? Like, not be like me coming out and struggling with like a fucking 200 kilo bench or something.
Yep. You know? Yeah. Struggle with the 200 kilo bench, Brendo.
Yeah, I'll get there one day. I'll struggle it. I'll struggle it to push it back off my chest once it pins me.
Fuck yeah. You're obviously really known as a guy that can bench some weight. There's no doubt about that. Would you say there's anything you do differently for either yourself or even how you coach it?
Look, man, like I'm not a massive fan of wide grip benching.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like it. I think it's sort of just, everyone, like, you see a lot of it on social media, like, take your grip out a little bit wider, I think a wide grip places too much demand on the shoulder joint, and I don't think enough people have enough muscle mass to bench in a wide grip position. You know what I mean? Like, and you have a look at a lot of the best benchers in the world, like what's his name? Like that Leroy Walker, the big black guy from America. Who's that other guy that just took one of the other records? He benched 330 or
335, yeah.
Yeah.
What is his name? Fuck.
I can't remember. Even like Krill.
Yeah.
Krill. I mean, you have a look at where they grip it, and most of the time they've got a vertical forearm by the time the bars on the chest. You know what I mean? Instead of this wide grip angle that's placing stress on the elbows and shoulders, and I'm not a massive fan of it. I think play your strengths. You know what I mean? Like, so what if you have to go a little bit further? You're using your triceps more, you're using your pecs, you're using your back to stabilize a little bit more. There's a good book written by a guy called Thomas. What's his last name? It was written in like the 70s or 80s, man. Like literally just went through and examined how to bench press.
Yeah, right.
He's a massive fan of, with all the studies he did, he was like, 1.5 times clavicle width is where your ideal grip position should be for maximum, stimulation of the muscles involved in it.
Yep.
I think you make a really good point as well with the wider grip benches, just not having the required muscle mass to bench. And I think that comes, like a lot of it's lost in translation, not just in bench, but with powerlifting in general. Now, obviously you coming from the background of bodybuilding, you had a lot of good muscle on you. You had a lot of good muscle belly. Do you feel that gave you an advantage when it came to the big three?
I think in terms of like benching, yeah. Now in terms of deadlifting, probably not, because like my arms are a little bit shorter than other people's arms. You know what I mean? So for me, and then my legs are a little bit longer. So it's sort of like, for me to get into a deadlift position, I'm somewhat going to be rounded. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't think I don't think it helps with my deadlifting. Squatting, if I could go back and not tear my ACL twice and have those knee operations, I'd be fully interested to see what I could actually squat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
No, I think it more helps with like bench pressing more than like squats and deadlifts.
And from a coaching standpoint for yourself, is it something you prioritize with a lot of your clients, being like a good off season with hypertrophy to put on good muscle?
Yeah, hypertrophy. Like as soon as they finish a comp, I'm like, that's it. It's time to like put in some work.
Yeah, sweet.
So, and I'm a massive fan of having actual time off, like powerlifting cycles and stuff like that. You know? You're into a prep for 12 weeks, but then it's sort of like do some actual fun training as well. You know what I mean? Because we've all done preps. We know how shit they are towards the end of it and how fucking hungry you are. You're just like, no, I'm done with that. Like, it's annoying.
I don't want to touch a barbell.
Yeah.
I remember my last prep, I was like, I don't even want to look at a barbell. I don't even want to go fucking to the gym and coach people right now.
Yeah. So it's just like, make training fun again. You know what I mean?
I think that one is often missed by too many people, that fun concept, eh? And the relationship with the gym just ends up being shit for them when, at the end of the day, being in those four walls of whichever club you're in, it should be a fucking hoot. You should fucking love it in there.
Yeah. Oh man, like, I put like superset circuits in there, you know what I mean? Like for the off-season stuff, I'm like, have some fun, get a pump, you know what I mean? Feel fucking great.
Do you have a favorite drop set or superset?
Yeah, it's I like a GVT arm day, man. So
yes.
10x10s.
Yeah, big sick
no reps.
pump.
You have 10 sets, 10 reps, bicep, tricep.
Just running from side to side of the gym.
You hurry up, I'm marking this off. Let's go.
Fuck.
Work free bench, build your arms, get strong triceps.
Fucking oath.
Now,
outside of powerlifting and everything, you've got a little girl.
Yep.
How old is she now?
She's 5 in March, so she's starting prep soon.
Holy fuck. That's quick.
Yeah,
And how has that impact of, having her and how has that changed you?
I think she came along at the right time for me, you know what I mean? Like, it needed to, like, settle me down all right as well. So, no, she was a good influence on me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then, fuck, man, we spent most of last year in and out of court, like, arguing about custody and separation stuff. And,
oh, fuck.
Yeah, so during COVID, I had nothing else to do but argue in court and stuff, so.
Oh, that would have been a horrible experience, bro.
Yeah, but totally worth it now because pretty much got everything that I'd asked for, like with the court orders and stuff like that. So
yep,
it was good for you.
Yeah. Does Junior Berg ever come into the gym with you, mate, and run around in there as well?
Yeah, man. Like,
loves it.
Yeah, she's always been in the gym, but she used to try and she even still tries now to wag kindy. She's like, no, I don't want to go to kindy. I want to hang out with you. I'm like, well, we're going to the gym. And she's like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm like, you've got to earn your dollars. Let's go.
Instilling a good work ethic at a young age there, bro. I like it.
Yeah. I'll find her, like, she'll just, like, leave a shit line around. I'm like, nah, go pick it up, put it away. But I think that's just the kid thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that she's trying to wag kindy.
Yeah.
They'll come back to bite her when she's our age and all we want is to go back and nap.
Yeah. Oh, she's got a massive shot coming for her when the prep starts, man. Like, because they don't let kids have naps during the day. I'm like 30.
What?
I still need a nap during the day. Like,
yes. Naps are a crucial part of lifestyle.
Actually, it's all changed now in the education system, so that doesn't surprise me much. Fucking hell, it's different.
They got like iPads and, like there's apps on the iPads for them to download. Yeah, it's
holy fuck.
Yeah. I remember at school, like, only the rich kids had computers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You weren't allowed to touch the computer unless mum and dad were there to turn it on for you and shit.
I remember the old dial-up internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you'd hear that crackle of the fucking sound. Yeah.
Then your mum would fucking pick up the phone and cut you out while you're on there.
Yeah.
Maybe downloading something you weren't supposed to.
You're like, Mom, I'm tuning this bird. What are you doing?
No, I'm on MSN chat.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Damn.
Oh, fuck, that was funny.
So, but you said you'd be interested in maybe doing a single lift again, bro. Would you do anything different this time, like sort of reflecting on everything you've done over the years to sort of prep for something, or you keep it all the same?
Probably not. For like, I tried like I did some programming with Josh Bryant for a little while for like the bench stuff. I just think it was a good program. I enjoyed it, but I think it was the wrong time for me to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that was like, everything was just starting to kick off. You know what I mean? So my phone would be blown up, like, when I'm trying to train and stuff, and it's just like, fuck. But probably not. Like, I'm a massive fan of like in-wrap sets and stuff like that, and bench press, close grip benching. You know what I mean? Like, I just think for me, like, when my bench dropped off, it was just because I wasn't doing enough work for it. Enough accessory stuff, and not enough triceps, not enough pull-ups, like all that sort of jazz. I just rested on my laurels, being like, yeah, sweet, I'm a big bencher, I can bench big all the time, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And you still have to actually do the fucking work.
And then that comes back down, like everything that what we spoke about today, it just comes back down to putting in the effort.
Yeah, 100%.
And just not being soft in your approach, and when you go to the gym, having the intent to give it 110%.
Yeah, man, straight up. And a lot of shoulder work. You know,
yeah, that's actually one thing that I've noticed a lot. I guess coming through the ranks and watching yourself develop, and you're a big promoter of shoulder work and shoulder health for a big bench. Not something that's super common within the world, but you definitely prioritize it, and fuck, you can't argue with your results.
even like some of the exercises like behind the like old school, like behind the neck press, behind the neck pull downs, and it's like, you know, they're often they cop a lot of crap, a lot of shit online with, you know, people saying, no, you shouldn't be doing them, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, it's a really good indicator of your overall shoulder health and your thoracic mobility, flexion extension, if you can get a bar behind your head, you know what I mean? Like, with weight on it. So I think it sort of helps with the overall shoulder health as well.
And yeah, that comes back down to, I think, what we said at the start, like so much more information around thoracic mobility, around shoulder stability, that it just gets lost in translation. And exercises that worked for so long in the past are now bastardized.
That's it.
Because, you know, it's oh, well, that's no good position to put your shoulder in. And I was like, did you see what these guys? Yeah, like, did you see these guys back then? Like,
yeah, back in the 70s and 80s, you know, like, yeah, you had some awesome drugs back then as well, like good gear. But, you know, these guys actually like trained and put the effort in and were doing these sorts of exercises. And they had massive fucking shoulders, massive arms, and they were strong as well. You know what I mean? I just think, like I said, earlier, I think people were getting too caught up with my thoracic's not loosen enough, my shoulders, you know. So fuck, just do it. Just do it.
You always like, there was a quote I always remember. I want to say it was Boris Shako said it, but maybe it was wrong. But it was, if one wants to bench more, you must bench more. Just do more fucking work.
but like, do you boys probably would have definitely watched it. But do you remember the old Pumping Iron documentary?
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
remember it.
Do you like those motherfuckers were going balls to the walls every session?
Yeah.
I just remember watching it going, holy fuck, these guys are like, they just don't stop. And I know I've been, I guess, what's the word? Probably more cautious than I've needed to be in the past with training. But it's like, there's something missing. Oh, wait, it's intensity.
Yeah.
The most simple ingredient to get results on the platform.
Yeah, man. I think, you know, you just can't keep lifting like heavy all the time, pushing that. So it's sort of like, well, what else can you mix up? And it's like intensity. You know what I mean? Like, instead of sitting on your ass for 5 minutes, like while you're doing like 4 sets of 8 with dumbbell curls, like get off and go and do a set of push downs in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Sort of stuff like that, just to keep people moving. You know.
100%. Do those drop sets, do those supersets, get some conditioning back in.
Yeah, do a fucking set of 20 rep squats and then see how you feel. You know what I mean? Like, don't be scared of them. It's gonna hurt and it's gonna suck ass, but you know.
Yeah, look, as soon as you said 20 rep squats, I did get a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
They're fucking awful, man, but like.
Oh man, I remember back.
You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about.
Between reps 12 and 20.
Yeah.
To find out exactly who you are.
You're shaking your head being like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? You know what I mean?
I remember doing some sessions at Bio with a 21 rep deadlift set and a bucket ready for me by my side.
Jesus.
Fuck that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, man. I used to have a bucket of leg press.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, right. Got to finish the set mid-Q.
Yeah, like you got to fit. Like if someone annoyed me, you know what I mean? I was like, "You're doing 50 reps," and they're like, "What?" They're like, "Huh?" I'm like, "You're doing 50 reps. Like, let's fucking load it up. You're doing it." You know what I mean? Obviously, you've got to condition. You've got to get them to that point to start off with. It's not like, you know, your first training session with someone, you're going to put them into leg press, make them do 50 reps. It's like 200 kilos. So
that's insane.
Ease them into it. Get them to a level where you can fucking like just train them hard.
Yeah. Fuck, that's fun.
Reckon the next 3 days of their life.
Thanks.
Mr. Josh, we have 10 questions for you.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
What makes you unique?
So, who asked that fucking question?
There's these ones.
You know what?
Oh, these are our 10. Oh, we got the other ones too, Brando. Have you got them there?
Yeah, I've got them here.
I guess I think with me, I don't really fucking care what people think. You know,
Yep.
I really don't. I'm not. I'll say what I want to say and do what I want to do.
Yep. Oh man, I think too often people are just sitting on eggshells, worrying about everyone else. That's exceptional.
Like this, like guys that like they're either the sciencey guy or the hardcore dude or whatever. I'm just like, fuck whatever.
Who are the special people in your life?
My little girl for sure. You know what I mean? And then Kim for helping me out with the last fucking 12 months of my life.
Nice. What's something that you're most proud of?
My daughter.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you could star in a movie, what would it be and who would you be?
Fuck, Terminator straight up.
Yes. Which one? Which Terminator?
All of them.
All of them.
Like even the last one Arnie was in, and like cool because he's like this old cyborg, you know what I mean? Like, but number 2 like is always gonna be.
That's the best one, isn't it?
Yeah, always gonna be number 1.
What is, dare we ask, your most used emoji?
Definitely the eggplant.
I think he sent some eggplants.
Oh man, I'm probably lucky they didn't have emojis back like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I'll give you a quick snapshot. There we go.
Yeah, crying, laughing face for sure.
That's outstanding.
When I'm battling the misses, it's normally this one.
Oh yes, just the thumbs up. I love it.
And
Now,
bubbles, drop down, pop up, pop down.
you know it's coming then. What's your favorite dinosaur as a kid, bro?
T-Rex.
Oh, nice. Nice. If you could find out how and when you die, would you?
Yeah.
What age do you feel right now?
Oh. Well, up until about 3 weeks ago, when my testosterone was sitting at 3, I was 80. Right now, I'm probably about 65.
Oh, what pet did you have growing up, bro?
It was we had dogs and horses, man. And I fucking hate horses. So.
What is the best thing that happened to you last week?
Yeah, I don't remember what happened last week.
Oh dear. Brando, how'd we go with the other ones, bro?
Yeah, so we got a couple of questions. First one is for you, Josh.
Yeah.
Who's been the most influential person on your career?
It probably would have been Damon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fucking way back in the day.
Way back. Damon.
Yeah. Now, the second one, do you have a favorite lifter? And if so, why?
Like famous?
I'm assuming they just mean anyone. Let's go famous and then one you coach.
Famous is definitely like Eddie, you know what I mean? Like, he was just his soul, you know what I mean? Current lifters that compete, probably, like out of mine, like my favorite's probably Belinda, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So she's pretty cool. And then like, I reckon Belinda and Lala, they're my 2 like favorite like female athletes, you know what I mean? Lala's a beast, like 200 plus kilo deadlift, like 220 squat in the gym, like.
Fucking hell. Fuck, man, that's it from us.
Oh, sweet. I thought they were going to be like full, like, what drugs do you use and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was like, come on, really hope
When I seen that, I was like, oh man, like, who's like, what cycles do you do?
I was really expecting someone to just ask him what is his most hectic cycle, and I was like, a little disappointed nobody asked that, but hey.
Mr. Josh, what is your most hectic cycle?
So, it probably would have been about actually 2 weeks ago. Like one of my online guys, we had a Skype, and he was like, "Oh, you know, what was one of the biggest drug cycles you did?" And I said, "Hold on," and I pulled up one of the spreadsheets I have back from 2013. Wow. So this would have been bodybuilding crack, right? And this is where I was sort of like, I remember talking to one of the guys back then. It was like, you know, it's like if you wanted to, you could really, you know, push hard and, you know, get another 10 kilos of muscle. And I was just like, at what fucking cost though? You know what I mean? Like, so this bodybuilding prep was like, towards the tail end, it was like 800 mega probe.
Fuck.
600 of tren. There would have been about 4 to 6 of EQ, 4 of Mastron. There was Anavar, 50 to 100 a day, depending on which day. T3, Clen, Letrozole, like, it was juicy.
Fucking oath it would have. And just I don't know about you, man, but I hated Letrozole. I felt depressed as fuck every time I took it.
It served the purpose for me at the time.
Yeah.
My doctor gave us a Arimidex just in case, but I was like, I don't fucking use it. You know what I mean? Like, the new doctor's pretty good. It's like $0.5 mil a week sort of thing, like full blood work. Like my test crashed like middle of the year from 7 to 3 because I stopped. I came off in March last year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a break from everything, and I was like, oh, this is shit. Fuck man, natty.
Fucking oath. Far out. Man, we really appreciate you coming on, and obviously we'll have to get you back on once we can open up, you know, and have a face-to-face conversation. I know there's a lot more that we can divulge and get into, which people definitely want to know more about for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about anything. You guys know that. I'm pulling punches. I'm just like, whatever. Want to talk about controversial subjects, controversial people.
I love it. I definitely want to get back on and pick a bit of that controversy with a few people I know for sure. Just leave just hang a little carrot and just go for it. Brother, for those listening, where can they find you? Where can they reach out if they have any questions?
So just at Josh Tait on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Sweet.
I can do the Eastside or the Evolve Instagram or whatever, but it's probably just easier just to it's Insta or Facebook. You know what I mean?
Easy done. We'll put that in the show notes for sure. Man, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
No worries. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Rock on.
See you, dude.